Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. What am I? What I am? I am that I am, which is not graspable, because it's here before one can grasp it. So you cannot figure it out, you are it. And it's just a let go of the mind to want or try to understand or figure it out or experience it. What else can I say? Then just ask me. In that way, Nisargadatta Maharaj was quite a nice indication to say prior. What you are is prior, but there is still a but, because then it means if you feel you are located somewhere, it is real. No. So the prior is to indicate to a mind who really doesn't want to give up. Otherwise, there is no prior. You are it first. Because the prior then will make you a movement from where you think you are, then you go prior. No. Not that movement. It doesn't need any movement to just be. To become, you need a movement. Then it's a movement to become, but not to be. So, about practices, here I would say, rather than to try to transform what you think is here for you, it would be, who knows, but it would be to give up, rather to give up what you think is real, at least for just a moment, just to allow what is to reveal itself. We don't realize how much we identify with all the movements of the mind, the events like birth and happenings and death, and it's totally normal for the body and the mind. But here we speak about what is common to all, what is maybe can be called the background of everything. What is the origin of beings? And this will not be found outside. It is here before the notions of inside and outside. Before the notion I am born. The body is born, sure. Whatever I can describe is born. It's not the indication of who I am. So that will not be realized by someone. It will be suddenly obvious. And I really see, or it's rather by giving up all what you believe you are. Then at some point you will be totally fed up because you will find infinitely something. And that's a good moment. Et voilà. If you are happy like this, let's be happy together. If you are not, then tell. Tell something.
Ganga, I think I'm okay now. Just in the morning, I got fed up with this infinite thing, and what you just said, it reminded me that when I travel, for example, and I come back, when I travel somewhere and I come back, and I'm kind of confident that I'm all right. I know myself, and I come back to Satsang, and it's always tra-la-la. I come back because I'm well, and then I always figure out when I come back to Portugal that there is something, I'm floating somewhere, or I'm mixing myself up, and I got fed up of that.
But listen, when you say I know myself, and then you describe all that, first of all, when you know yourself, you never go back. You speak of something else.
Yes.
So if you go back, you speak of a personality.
Yes.
And the personality will have to be fed up, will be fed up or not, or whatever. All those moods, you see.
Yeah.
I am not fixing moods.
Yes. Okay.
So you just have to know that you speak about what.
Yeah.
Because when you say I feel well, what do you mean? Your mood is good.
Yeah.
But then you are subject to changes. That is sure. You see. So you speak. So far, you describe the person.
Yeah.
Do we do that in satsang?
No. No. No, I'm not very serious about that now, but it's good that we speak because
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just be clear when you express. You speak about what?
Yeah.
You know. It's attached to this body, to these emotions, to this coco, conceptual coco.
Yeah.
Or do I try to speak of some evidence that occurred, then I put it in the past for some reason, but actually it's here.
Mm.
So just readjust yourself.
Okay, thank you.
And about the person, you are like this, huh?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. And if it is not okay, do something for it, but only if you like it. Mm. You are clearer or not?
I'm clearer.
Okay. For example, if you had an experience of beingness and then you say, life is going on, and then you say, I go back to that, it means that it was still an experience. In that way, I can understand you say, I go back. But then the person was still there. It just had a peep and came back to its background. It made it the background, I am someone. You see? Then you will say, oh, I go back to myself and then I can go out. But the I has not been seen for a rising movement. Mhm. Because then you will not speak like that. Doesn't matter, you can just see it now. There's the problem of the glimpses, we call glimpses, you see, is that you go back to the background you started from. It's like you were on a cliff and suddenly you jumped in beingness, in the unknown, whatever, which feels very yourself, very vast and absolute. But then when the mind reappears, it makes you go back to the cliff because you have not doubted about its nature. Somehow the I has been, I never really disappeared in that way, the belief in the I.
Yeah, what keeps me alive, this I, is it's wishing to something to find that keeps it alive. That if it still has some expectation to be something special, to be the space, to be the something which still try to find, that keeps it alive.
So you actually you still want an experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But then don't be surprised that you will be subject of in and out.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you know what's going on,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually I'm fed up about it to try to find something.
then it's up to you to not to go there. Then what? Nobody else can do that. Huh?
Yeah.
If you are fed up,
Yeah.
you are fed up, so you stop.
Yeah.
That's all. Yes, please.
Hello, Ganga.
I will translate for her.
Yes, okay.
Hello.
Thank you.
За последнее время у меня было много сильных переживаний и реальности.
Lately, I have such a very strong experience of reality.
Okay.
И сейчас переживается так же, но периодически как будто что-то затмевает то, что есть реальность.
And now its experience is the same, but sometimes
What?
now I
Yeah.
experience is
Yeah,
like
the
same
same.
truth, but sometimes something covering it. Sometimes
The mind covers
the
it.
mind, yeah.
The mind covers it. It will go on like this up to your last breath, don't worry. The mind covers. Sure. Sure.
Yes.
You don't have a life without a mind. So don't imagine that your life will be without a veiling mind. No, it will not happen. But you will not be. So you have to translate maybe. Let me finish and then we try to repeat. But it will not be. I forgot. That's the trouble with translations. Let her continue and then we see again.
И из-за того, что каждый раз это как бы закрывало, у меня внутри всегда было ощущение, что я хочу найти такого же человека, как Пападжи, как лев.
And this why, because I have this covering sometimes, like eclipse. This why I wanted to find someone like Papaji, like a lion,
который сможет помочь мне полностью остаться в этой реализации.
who can help me to fully establish and remain in this realization.
You have not to fully established. It's always here. It is you, by your mind, who veils it, who think differently, and you give to that thought more power than what is. Nobody has even not the power, as even the will to make you established, because a master doesn't believe you are not here. It's your mind. Why do you believe in the that the mind can tell anything about what you are? As long as you have a breath, as long as you live, the mind will appear and disappear. Nothing wrong with that, it is the nature of the mind. But by realization of what is, you know that what you really are is not the mind. So what is the problem?
В том, что походу есть идея о том, что ум должен исчезнуть.
Maybe because there is some idea that mind must disappear.
Of course, that's what I try to shoot.
Это вот то, что я пытаюсь пристрелить.
So give up that idea. Just now. Just now.
Это прямо сейчас. Это идея, которая сейчас появляется, прямо сейчас.
Как избавиться от этой веры в эту идею?
How to get rid from this belief, from this idea?
Don't catch how. It's again the power of the mind which will bring you somewhere. Don't catch how, it's the mind. There is no how. You are. You are. The mind appears, transforms things, figure out, and this and that. That is the play, the life. The individual is in it. I am in it. You see, as a body and mind and whatnot. But we speak about what is. About which is not something which is not individual, not personal. And that you said you saw. You saw what's reality. So don't now try to confine reality by somebody. You can't. You can't contain it. So give up. Give up those fantasy, those concepts. That's liberation. Nothing wrong with what appears and all that. Just don't confuse. What is wrong is the confusion. It makes you search and all that. But if you are not confused, then what? And it's not up to you to become like more saintly, more looking like abiding in the self than another who is still more active and all. It is not up to you. That is what your birth brought with you in this system. It's no sign of anything. It is not a sign of any achievement. Oh.
Получается, что никто не может уснуть.
It means that nobody can fall asleep. There is no one who can sleep, like fall asleep again or something.
I don't answer to that because then again it's a description of somebody or nobody. If there is nobody, there was never a sleep. If there is somebody, there will be a sleep. Yeah. You have to know, you speak about what. What you speak belongs to what? To the body, you speak about feelings, about this, but you don't mention what is. You have to be vigilant about that. Vigilant without compromise, then no problem. Don't think that it is you as the one I see who has realized the self. You realized the self when you were exactly not there. So don't make it, oh no, I realize the self as someone. No, it will not happen. What can happen is to have experiences of the self, okay. But then you will speak of, oh, but then I have to abide. You see the problem. So accept that you can be somebody having experiences of the self, but you know very well that it will not abide because it's somebody as there is an experiencer. So the reality you spoke about is not at all in this realm. It creates this realm, it makes it disappear, it contains it, you can say like that if you like. But it doesn't depend on anything to be. The abidance, I think, is not well understood. You can say there is an abidance when you don't confuse yourself, whatever happens. You see, you are concerned with an experience, okay, but you know it concerns this, or you are concerned just to just be empty or whatever, then you refer to the being and all that. That is the abidance. It is not that somebody abides, is settled in being. Being is there regardless of your realization or not, you know. It's not personal. That is the abidance for me. Not to be even able to confuse anymore. It doesn't mean that the life changes. It can change or not, but I mean, it has nothing to do. You want to keep your idea or you want to be liberated?
Освободиться.
To be liberated.
So it is just now then. And there is not before and after.
Thank you. Thank you.
How you say that in your language?
Russia.
Yeah, how you say thank you?
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
What I would like to share, I totally remember that I already shared it with you. So and I still also remember onto your answer, but still I have to put it again. So it's about addiction, to be totally addicted to that space.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. If you know that I am a person addicted to that space, okay, then I speak of the person addicted to that space. No problem. We have so many addictions, different addictions. Why not this? It makes one more special. What?
It's still a landing place.
Of course, that's what I say. You are addicted, but don't change the addiction. It will not change you. It would not change who you became. To change addiction. If you change the addiction, you will be with something else. So who are you? Who are you in all this talk? Tell me now. Show me something. So here, is it important that I am addicted or not? Tell me.
I tell you, it's the fear that I can do it just because of the addiction, because of you. This I can't create alone. That's the addiction. I have to come here to see it. I can't. I know.
Maybe for a while, and then after you will, in the contrary, be very happy to be by yourself and not to come.
I tell you, I remember. That's why it's very, very deep rooted in me, in this addiction, and I really would like to get rid of that, because already.
If you get rid of that, you will get addicted to somebody else. So just be addicted.
Because I don't see the development in myself. At the beginning, 2006, you said the same, that it will, like you will be addicted for a while.
And we are in 2025. Only. Everybody has a sense of time very different, you know. Welcome. I think it's only in the West that we have this trouble, you see. In India, people are so addicted to, let's say, to their guru or whatever. They didn't even ever thought that it may be strange or not normal or a trouble. When he dies, then you are no more addicted, what to do, and that's it, you know. Or you leave him before, and, you know, it's not a why to make it a problem, after all? And if you really don't want to be addicted, then you go to rehab, you know, it's like...
Thank you.
Yeah.
My mind doesn't believe it's possible. I just wanted to tell you this. Yes.
So it passed, it went. You don't need to run after it.
Okay.
Thoughts. I think there is only one thing you have to do, and Satsang provides that. Figure out what's the mind. Because you see, you come to Satsang since a few years, and you do very well. But look, listen to me, listen to me. For example, you didn't see that this was a thought.
Yes.
No, you didn't see? Otherwise what?
It's amazing.
Huh?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's what I say. That is the vigilance, to know what's the mind. And I tell you, it's just hear it and try to make it a natural tool. Whatever rises, whatever was not there before, it appears, it goes. It's the mind. And the mind will never inform you about what you are. It informs you about the life. But he has the arrogance to say, oh, it's impossible, and this and that, or the contrary, so arrogant that he says, oh yes, I know it, and whatnot. You know, these are thoughts. You have to be vigilant. It's a thought. Okay, whatever, you can look at it, you can even be identified and all, but you know it's a thought. There is nothing there about what I am. Yeah? Yeah. It's good to hear it again and again. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
How I can know if it's not the mind? And if the mind, like you said, the mind cannot tell me who I am.
Yeah.
Who can tell me how I can know who's talking to me? How I can...
Haha. I can't say many things, but you know, when there is a self-evidence, or let's say what people speak of realization of the self. I don't like much because I find it's always here. So, or then I would say then, or a self. There is a moment of self-revelation. Let's say like that. It's more powerful than whatever somebody experiences it.
Yes.
Yeah. Then there will it raises questions about that. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can take me also to when sometimes I think this is the mood. You know, if like sometimes I get confused. If this is the mood, my mood is good, so I can know myself. My mood is not good.
It's
so
a mood. It's a mood. It's only a mood.
Yes, so always I am in the mind, so I have nothing to know who I am.
Yeah. You have nothing to know who you are. That's why it is. You have to question who has the mood, who feels well, who feels is himself. To remove, not that I will not reappear later, but to remove the absoluteness of its reality. You see? And then that allows a self-revelation, an obviousness of what is. That will happen once in a lifetime, and that's enough, because the impact is so strong. The mind can have strong experiences and all, but it changes over time, you see. Here, not.
So it's just to get used to this. This is how it is.
To get used, I don't understand.
Okay, it's mean just every time I will get to feel who I am or get to think, it will repeat always, and the mind or it will come always. So
the mind comes always except once.
Yeah.
There is a split second where you are freed from it.
Yeah.
From its tyranny. Yeah.
Thank you.
But because of that split second, in the mind, you can have space or beach of it, I don't know how to say, space of beingness and quietness, but you are not fooled. You don't think, you know it's an experience, but you don't mind anymore. Am I clear? I don't know, but I hope.
Thank you.
Yeah. Or I can say differently also, when there has been this self-obviousness of beingness, let's it's not a very simple sentence, but then the life um, continues with his experiences of things and all that, objective experiences, but it's cut off. It can be cut off in a natural way by simply being, you see. And then the mind will say, oh, I've been immersed in my beingness. But you know that it's the mind who speaks, and you will not search again, oh, I have to be all the time there and so on. That's gone. That's completely gone. Well, if I am not clear, please ask, because it's not an easy subject to indicate. Anyway, the mind is always comes after. When you leave something, the mind comments. Huh? So, in that experience of beingness, there was an obviousness, but the mind appeared and telling you, because he loves to tell you, you know. But since it is brought into expression, into time, what he will tell will go on changing. But you, as you have seen what's a mind, it will not make you search anymore. You know that the nature of the mind is like that, and you don't confuse. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga. Can I read something from Nisargadatta?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So a student is asking, is not all suffering self-created? And Nisargadatta says, yes, as long as there is a separate self to create it. In the end, you know that there is no sin, no guilt, no retribution, only life in its endless transformations. With the dissolution of the personal I, personal suffering disappears.
I don't have this experience and I don't care. But if he has got, he was quite a lucky man.
Okay. He says also, so with the dissolution of the personal I, personal suffering disappears. What remains is the great sadness of compassion, the horror of the unnecessary pain.
The horror?
The horror
Of
the unnecessary pain.
Of the necessary pain. Unnecessary pain.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with what he says. I am not obliged to say exactly the same. But sure that or we speak of what we cannot speak about because it's ungraspable, or we speak of someone who has seen or who has not seen, but let's say who has seen, and then the life may change. in qualities, more or less, depends on everybody. And it doesn't depend on a more realization or not. There is no degrees here. If he doesn't suffer, if a child of his dies and all that, he has a psychology such. But if a realized one suffers because the child dies, then what? It's just natural for the parent or for the sister or for the to suffer. Then what? It's not about I am. That's why I don't remove suffering. But you have to know what is concerned. You speak about what? If I suffer, I speak about the human I am. I became by my birth. I don't speak of what is. So what is the problem? Why always to hide the obviousness also of this duality? Duality will remain duality for me. Means what? Black and white, suffering and pleasure. That is duality. That some suffer less because they have less attachments, less responsibilities in life. They have a more simple life. Generally, then you suffer less. Except you are completely cuckoo with yourself. But more you have relations, more you are able to suffer. That is clear. That's why some people went to monasteries to be monks and all that, but then after they have to solve things with themselves. I mean, for me, it is a sign of nothing to say, is there still suffering or no suffering? It's just that there is no confusion. That is, to me, extremely precious. That is the precious thing. And if you suffer, it doesn't mean anything about your realization of the self. It means something about your life. That's all. It's limited. No, there is nothing wrong to love this sentence and okay, great.
No, actually, it's confusing for me.
Ah, okay. Then I think I put it clear. What I see also is that the suffering may appear, but also you don't feed it, you don't overfeed it, like before it, would have been, I don't know what, because things fall into places also. So that's all I can add. In the legends, you see, we make the realized being like a superhero. A superhero. It's a fantasy. Yeah. No doubt, some lives are more inspiring, and it's personal for everybody, than other lives. So we can be inspired. And if you search, for example, for to be liberated. We all know that Ramana is a great example of inspiration, because it looks like he lives that all the time, but it's when we are not yet clear about what's what, you see. Otherwise, everybody lives that all the time. Only he has an inspiring life about that. But that doesn't mean that the one who doesn't have an inspiring life for others is not realized. You see? Okay, good. And it's important to be inspired when you are seeker, of course. It's very important. That's why we keep all those images. You see Buddha, Jesus, and whatnot. There are quite a few inspiring lives. Yeah, sure. But they are not more realized than you and me. They are not confused. But that may not show out in the events of life. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the exact words that Papaji used, but was it to remain vigilant until your last breath?
Yeah, sure, he said so.
So who or what is it that remains vigilant?
You know, if a seeker hears that, he will make effort to be vigilant, and very good. Vigilant not to be trapped by the mind, not to land anywhere, and so on. Very good. Now, when Papaji said that, it's for everybody. So it's for the seeker. It's also for the one who doesn't seek anymore. And then it becomes a natural attraction and love to just be. Because you see, it is not acquired. Liberation is not acquired by someone. So I think nobody wants to risk. And it's not even a question of risk. You can't help to know how precious it is to have a stop here and there. That's it. Vigilance as a practice, or natural vigilance as an attraction that you can't help and you feel so grateful about it.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like a magnet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sure.
Like you feel it, the mind coming in, and then the vigilance just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because you see, that story with Krishna and the disciple, they went into the forest and they were tired, and then Krishna decides to sit down at the foot of a tree, and then he has his disciple who had no more questions, actually. He just followed his master. You go, please go and fetch me some water. The river was there. So the disciple goes and fetch, but before the bottle, the lota, is in the water, a full story is going on. He lives a full story, a full life. And suddenly, after a full life of pain and suffering and whatnot, suddenly he wakes up to his own self and says, oh my God, where I was in my mind. And then he takes water, brings it to Krishna, and then doesn't speak because he knew it was just the mind who fooled him. Now, vigilance. The vigilance was naturally waking up him. But maybe you don't like to have a full life, not vigilant. You see, even if you know it's the mind. So you may be a little more wise in offering yourself moments of no mind. But in fact, nothing happened also for the disciple. Huh? But as a choice, I would prefer not to spend again a full life with my mind only. So it's a natural it's very interesting, but that because that story doesn't tell that the disciple came back to Krishna and as a seeker, you know, and okay, and he starts again all this. No, it just came back and nothing happened. That happens to us. Up to the last breath.
Morning.
Good morning.
Ganesha mentioned the theme of suffering.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, would you say there are different qualities of suffering?
No, suffering bites. It bites. Well, you can bite less or more.
Mm.
The fear of suffering is gone.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that would almost change the experience of suffering.
Yeah, that's what the human hopes. Sure. Sure. But you know, maybe somebody else would speak differently. I speak like this.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like sometimes one can get lost in the suffering.
Of course.
Yeah. And that maybe the connection or the remembrance of the true self
Of course.
can help us not get lost a little bit.
Yes, of course, but how come you wake up to that? If you didn't search before, if you didn't have an experience, you would not wake up. Nothing would make you wake up. Now it looks like you wake up to that. Naturally, that makes you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You see the beauty,
Mm-hmm.
the luck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not to search is of a great relief. Not to search. Yeah. Whatever happens. And if you want to transform something, you know it is about the human life. So, yeah, it's always, I come back to the same. The non-confusion, which allows not to search anymore. I don't speak of this transformation in life, but it's of a great benefit, relief. Yeah. Yeah.
I just would like to describe this I who observe this state of not searching, because I could say I do not search.
Okay.
But still, it's a tremendous, powerful I. First, I thought it's a subtle I, but not. It's such a tremendous, strong I who observes this no searching. What to do with that?
Question it. Whatever you can question, you are on, not it, it's an object. It became an object. Question it.
I see in the same time how many traps are here still. Because
No, there is only one trap, which is, you said, this is a very powerful I. Stay with that. No question that. Don't again. You see, you don't question. Again you go boom, boom, boom around. That was a very good point. I said, question it, but you divert yourself in traps and all that. We are done with traps. You spoke of a very strong, it's true, that can be very strong, who sees there is no search. I said to you, question it. Enough of knowing traps and all that. You have done that. Why to repeat that? Now you are left alone with that strong I. You think so. It's your experience. You feel it. What is this I? Who am I? I speak about it. It becomes an object. From where I say all that, I keep quiet. I discard it. That's what I am. No question of I, powerful I or not. But do it. I cannot do it for you. It is as simple as I showed you. But do it. Et voilà. Oh yes, voilà, voilà. Something more. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Ganga. I don't know if it suits here, but I still wanted to ask for the name that you decide to give or not give me.
But look, see, when you pronounce the one name, then the other, which kind of feeling it gives you, and then you take what you prefer.
I think for me it doesn't matter which name. I'm just so happy that I receive it as a gift from you, so that's for me more important.
Yeah, but now you put me in difficulty with two names. So you were called Laila, but somehow you brought the other one now, the other name from the beginning.
No, it came on the beach because we were bringing names for Eka.
Yeah, I know, but why you put it into question? It means there is some attraction too for that name, for the other name. Maybe it will give you a life which fits you more, joyful life. Don't worry, doesn't mean you are not what you are. But you can deserve a joyful life. And that's true that what was the other name? Lalita. Lalita is very okay? Lalita? But I don't have a third name, huh? Or sometimes you feel more like Laila and sometimes like Lalita. So, voila.
Thank you.
Okay, have a beautiful day. Thank you. And